drugs, addiction, rehabs, institutions, needles, psych wards. I've been all there. I've been through all these places. None of them helped. You know, when I started using heroin, it's not like I just woke up one day and was like, hey, let me just go shoot some dope. That sounds fun. It just happened, I guess. It creeped into my life more than I thought it would. You know, I did other stuff before I went into heroin, cocaine, all the other drugs that come with it. But when heroin came into the picture, it brought me down some very dark places. Made me do some crazy stuff. And I'll never forget the overdose that I had one day. And I was at my house, and I went inside of the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom, and I'm comparing my shot. And my mom was like, you know, we're gonna go to church. And I'm like, yeah, you know, give me a few minutes. You know, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. And I went inside the bathroom, got everything ready, and I did it. You know, I banged it. And I don't remember much, but I remember getting up and walking out of the bathroom. Just everything just goes black. And my mom, she tells me after that she noticed that I was taking too long to come outside to go to church. And she went inside and she found me in my room, and I was laid out, passed out, blacked out. And she said I was black and blue. I wasn't breathing or anything like that. And she called the ambulance. She started praying over my life. And she's like, no, God, you can't take my son now. And next thing you know, I wake up and there's an ambulance outside and there's all these dudes. And here I am having my first overdose. And if like the overdose wasn't enough, I remember when I was getting even more deep inside of my addiction, and I needed money. You know, besides robbing, one day, me and this other dude, we had this crazy idea to go and stick someone up. We were like, yo, let's rob someone and let's take their money. And I went with it, and I remember pointing a knife at this guy who I never knew. I never met, and pointed this knife at him. I was like, you know, give me everything I trapped. And he did. That's what he did. And we did it in this elevator. And once we're leaving this elevator, we're walking out. This cop car shows up, and the guy that we just robbed decided to follow us and started screaming, "Hey, I just got robbed!" Just started screaming. And next thing you know, me and this other dude were running. We're like running from the cops. And I get to the sledge, and I see this opportunity to jump and hide, and it was about 30 feet high. And I jumped 30 feet, and fractured 2 vertebrae. Yeah. Fractured 2 vertebrae that day, but I hid under there for about an hour. My hand all bleeding and everything like that, so much pain. Yeah. That's what I did. And then there was this other day where I remember it was very clear to me. I had just gotten into an argument with my family, with my mom and my sister, and I left the house. And I was just like, you know, I'm not gonna stay here. I'm gonna go get high just to get this feeling off of my chest. That's exactly what I did. I left the house, went to go get high, met a couple of friends, and but by the end of the night, you know, I had told my so-called friends that, you know, I gotta go home. You know what I'm saying? I just can't sleep in the street. And I did leave, and I had this book bag full of pills with me. It was about 150 pills. And once I stopped hanging out with them, I left and I started walking back to my house. I thought to myself, hey, you know, if I was dead right now, this could all just go away. If it just disappeared, all these problems, I would stop causing my family problems. I would have all these problems just disappear. And I took those 150 pills and I told myself, hey, I'm going to go in the basement of my house and I'm just going to lay there and I'm going to just die. My family's going to find me there. I did. I took over 150 pills that night. And then I ended up staying in the ICU of a hospital for about 3 days. Completely gone, completely in a coma. Don't remember those 3 days. And I came back, but I had attempted suicide, for real. And after all that, there was this point where things had to change. And after being in multiple rehabs, multiple psych wards, I went to my last rehab. And I remember going inside that rehab, and while I'm at that rehab, I received a phone call from a police station. They're like, oh, we need to see you. And I went there. And when I got there, my life took a complete, totally different change. I got arrested. It was the first time I actually spent time away. And I remember getting arrested that day, selling drugs, and I just couldn't believe what was happening at that time. And I was like, wow, this is great. I was like, and I remember telling my mom, I was like, God saved my life, but to put me in jail? Like, I don't like that type of God. I'd rather be dead right now. Why would I want to be in jail? And I remember getting inside jail, and here I am coming off of methadone, and detox started kicking in. And I suffered really, really bad. So here I am, in my own cell, and the kicks are kicking in. Started kicking really badly. And I remember my whole body, it's just pain all over. I was puking, diarrhea, I couldn't eat and everything like that. And I remember speaking to my mom on the phone. She's like, read the Bible, pray. I'm like, what good is that going to do for me right now? But, I ended up budging a little bit, and I asked someone on the next cell, I was like, hey, do you have a Bible? I was like, hey, I need a Bible. And I never saw this guy, I never met him, I never saw his face, and quite ironically, he hands me over a Bible, and it's Recovery Bible. I was like, wow, this is very interesting. Here I am, getting a Recovery Bible. But I was like, let me give this a chance. And that's exactly what I did. I gave this Bible a chance. And I remember telling God, I'm like, God, you gotta take this pain away from me. I can't do this anymore. I was like, I can't take all this detox. Like, I gotta get off this. I gotta get off all this stuff. And I remember, like, I didn't feel the detox going away, but I remember things slowly after day getting better. And I remember reading this Bible, and as much as I can, and as much as I could at that time, I started reading it. I started praying to God. I kept telling him, like, God, please help me. If you're real, please give me a sense of that you're real. And I just remember, like, every day, like, the sense of peace started coming inside of me, and the sense of there's someone there with me. There's someone who's got my back. There's someone there that's always been by my side. And I started feeling this love inside of me. And day after day, this transformation, I guess, just started happening to me, and I couldn't tell you, like, because it was this and this, but it's like I kept reading more and more of the Bible, and it's like I kept reading more of it, and God just put something so deep inside my heart. If His love, His comfort. Not that the kicks went away, not that the detox went away, it eventually did, but accepted the fact that maybe at that moment, that's where I needed to be. That's where I needed to be for God to get a hold of me, get my attention of me again, like He's always wanted to. And it's like all this guilt and this heaviness inside my heart, and this and this trying to find fulfillment in things just disappeared. And it was just like, God just took it all away, and I was just like, this is amazing. And it's like, I've never felt happier. I mean, just to think of it, that the happiest I've ever been was in jail. You know, that moment, the happiest that I've ever been was being in a jail cell by myself, kicking. But knowing that someone is with me, God had my back. And it was just amazing. God, this love took me away and just all my whole attention. My name is Matheus. God's love took control of my whole life, and I don't regret it.